most powerful quote that always continues to fascinate me is a quote spoken by Gandhi. He said, "Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny." The concept of your beliefs determining your destiny is so simple to understand, and yet sometimes we miss the concept in our own lives. When I relate these words to the idea of girls' empowerment, I really get goosebumps. How many girls are there whose destiny has been affected by their own limiting beliefs about themselves as girls? And how many of such girls grew up, became mothers, and then transferred these beliefs to their daughters? So this morning, I'm addressing the adults first. When many people think about empowering girls, they think about girls whose basic needs are not met. Girls in developing countries who don't have proper medical care, who don't have sanitary pads, who don't have adults to guide and protect them. They don't even have a way to get an education. And this is a very real and urgent challenge. And most people do recognize that, and most people want to help. But the real danger here is in our own homes, our schools, and our communities. The real danger is not recognizing that our girls who seem to have everything are missing something too. We're affecting their beliefs about themselves on an everyday basis. A good example is when girls see boys having unfair advantages, their self-esteem gets eroded. They start believing that they are less, that they deserve less, that if they had been born boys, things would have been better for them. As a girl, I was no exception to the rule. One of my childhood memories is of my cousins and I having a race to see who could run the fastest. I was the only girl. I happened to come last, and one of my cousins commented, "But that's good for a girl," meaning that I shouldn't feel bad. It was his way of making me feel better. But you know, that comment really stung. I felt humiliated that I hadn't been able to run any faster. Perhaps incidents like these are what make me so passionate about gender equality and girls' empowerment. And my point is that many of us have memories like these, and we have to remember that our girls have these experiences too. Sometimes we forget how much damage this does to their self-worth. We as adults have the power to change this. Gender inequality didn't happen overnight. It happened with one person at a time, in one home at a time. It happened because people, both men and women, didn't stop to question their own beliefs about girls and women. That's why we do have the power to change this. We who are here recognize that something isn't right, something needs to be changed. Every person came here for a reason. You came because you thought that girls' empowerment is something worth discussing, something that was worth your time and your effort. We can choose to do something about it. And I want to especially recognize the men who are here. A friend of mine whom I got to know in, say, the past 2 years, when we were writing our book, we were looking for contributors around the world. And, apparently his daughter has a doctorate. I can't remember in what, but it's something to do with biology. And so I phoned her to find out if she wanted to contribute, and we were discussing this, and she said that one of her favorite things that happened to her was when she was 5, her dad gave her this t-shirt, and it said, "Anything a boy can do, a girl can do better." And my point here is not that is the point, but the fact is that she was validated by her father. She was told that she was worthy, that as a girl she meant something and she was no less. So, to the men, I want to say congratulations. You also do a lot in empowering girls, in showing them that they mean something. A father's validation is totally different. It gives his daughter a new kind of confidence. Recognize that. And now to all the girls here, don't let gender-based roles limit you. What I mean by that is, don't let people tell you what you should be good at or what you should want to do because you're a girl. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't be an engineer, for example, because you're a girl. I remember a few years ago, there was a girl who finished matric. I think part of her years, well, I think all of her years were spent at a private school. And I asked her, well, what are you going to do? What career are you going to choose? And she said, well, I think I'll go for optometry. It's a good profession for a woman. And, don't go for what's a good profession for a woman. Go for your dream. The difference between you right now and the girls in previous years is that you have opportunities open to you. The women who came before you fought long and hard to give you equal rights. Recognize that. And I know what they did for you. Make use of it. Don't let anyone ever give you an easy way out or cut you any slack because you're a girl. If you do, you're selling yourself short. When I was around 10 or 11, I remember being at school, and it was in the winter, and we had athletics. And how it worked, well, I was never any good at sports, but how it worked was that, you had to do, you had to train to be able to, do whatever different athletic events there were. So one day they had, say, a teacher at this point doing push-ups, and a teacher at this point doing another exercise. So every time the whistle blew, you had to go from the one point to the next point until it blew again. And I remember that as I got to this teacher, we had to do push-ups, and she said, girls, you can do ladies push-ups, which were the simpler version of push-ups. And I thought, no ways. You're not going to tell me I'm inferior because I'm a girl. And I know that wasn't her intention. So I started doing proper push-ups because it just didn't work for me. Don't ever sell yourself short. Don't let anyone tell you that you need something simpler because of your gender. One of my favorite quotes is from the Harry Potter series by Joe Rowling. Dumbledore's words are, "It is our choices, Harry, that show us what we truly are far more than our abilities. So choose to give yourself a chance. Away from all the voices of what your friends, boyfriends, and all the people around you are telling you. Away from all that, what do you believe in yourself? Think about it. And I mean, really think about it." I'll read the Gandhi quote again. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. There's a story about an eagle. Well, what happened to this eagle was the mom eagle laid an egg, and this egg kind of fell into a chicken coop by some turn of events, and the egg hatched. Anyway, there was this eagle, and he was amongst all the chickens. And, he saw his mother chicken doing what chickens do, and he actually never learned to fly. Why? Because he thought he was a chicken. It is your thoughts. Another example is I've heard that, like, if you took a jar and put grasshoppers in the jar, and or is it crickets? I think it's crickets. And you close the lid, and they jump up, and they bump their little heads on the top of the jar. Eventually, they learn that don't jump so high, you'll bump your head. So you unscrew the lid on the jar, and you put the open jar there, and the moral of the story is that the crickets will still only jump lower than the lid. They won't even jump out of the jar because they don't know that they can do it. So you need to learn from that. Know that you can do things. Don't let people put a lid on your jar. Learn everything you can from everyone around you. Don't feel that certain things are boy stuff. There's no such thing. Knowledge will give you power. Tell me, just by a show of hands, who of you girls knows how to change a plug? Change a plug. Good, well, and if you don't know, it's a rather simple concept. And if you don't know, because you've never really had to do it at home or something, please learn, because it's something that we can all do. There's no such thing about it. You have the opportunity to learn from someone. You should appreciate that that is part of education. Education is the key to being an empowered learner. Don't wait for someone to empower you. Do it yourself. And that is by learning. Have an inquiring mind. And then dare to live up to your potential. Dare to have the courage to defy the norm and follow